Hello and welcome to Boots Magoots, where today it's going to be a fun day. I am going to tear apart my Charvel Henrik and completely redo it. That's basically the reason why I got this guitar. I felt like it was going to be a good jumping off point for me to have my version of a Super Strat. And I got a bunch of parts here and stuff. I guess like the first thing, I got a bunch of stuff that I use. I love Stuart McDonald stuff. I'm going to use all this stuff to level the frets. I got some high frets on here, and then they didn't radius the frets after they leveled them from Mexico. So I'm gonna radius those and polish those out. At some point I'll swap them out for stainless, but they're fine right now. The nickel's fine right now, so I will go ahead and just radius those and get them all polished up. And then I have a bunch of goodies. So we have like a bunch of titanium bridge screws, posts and stuff like that, some noiseless springs, a big fat 42 block from FU Tone. What else we got here? We got some Hipshot tuners. And then I love these knurled tuners that I have on my Schecter USA model. And so I might put those on there, but it might not give the look of the guitar. I got Tremol-No on here, D-Tuna. I have a press-in bar. And then here is my 1984 Floyd bridge that I'm gonna get swapped out. These bridges, these 1000 bridges are not the same as the German ones. And if I have time, I'll show you guys the differences. Right here, I have a hot rails for the neck. So I'm gonna get that swapped out and I'm gonna weather the hot rails on there. Here I have some levelers, individual levelers for the bridge, because this bridge is at like a 16 radius, which is not the correct radius for a compound radius. You wanna continue the radius down. So this starts at 12, it's at 16 here, and this is gonna end at about 19 or 20. I gotta measure out the math on that, but they have it at 16, and that's just not the way you do those bridges. I've got some copper shielding for the inside cavities. This stuff, I'm going to take the heel down here and I'm gonna drop it down by about a third. Drop that heel down and then I'll make everything right. Took that, but that kind of gets rid of a little bit of that big block. And then let's see what else we have here. We have some true oil and stuff like that. I'm going to refinish and weather the headstock on here because it's too new looking, especially if you look at compared to the body and the fretboard. So I am going to get rid of this logo because I'm not a huge fan of that style. I much prefer the toothpaste style. So I'm gonna get rid of that, put the toothpaste style on there, refinish it, and then I'm gonna weather it and age it. So I got some stuff to do on that. I'm gonna do the true oil on all of the headstock except for the face of it, which I'll do the wipe on urethane. And then I got some toners and stuff for the wood. And then here's the new logo and stuff. Here's some tape to mark out the frets with, the fretboard with. And yeah, like that's about it. Here's like it's a little fret rocker and a little fret leveler that I love. Absolutely makes the job super quick and easy. So I am probably just going to do some quick little time-lapse shots of stuff because this video is going to take forever. And I'll just condense it down for you. If you have any questions on what I did, then feel free to post a comment. And real quick, because I forgot to mention, I also have a bare knuckle Ragnarok that's going in here. It's around here somewhere. I just don't have it on the table yet. But I had them age it, so it's going to look appropriate in here. But I went with red and black for that. And then also, I'm going to sand this guy down. I don't like the wear where this paint is kind of just chipped off here. Normally here on a guitar, you see it smoothed off where the arm has been. So I'm going to sand that and smooth that paint down. And then also all of the wood tone is all an even tone. And you just don't really see that on a real guitar that's been worn. So I'm going to darken around here in the wear areas where the body really kind of gets into that wood a lot and add some depth to that. So now here we go. All right, guys, so what was a couple minutes for you was a couple days for me. It was a lot of hard work, but I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Hopefully you guys dig it. I will leave you with some pictures of this dude at the end of this video, so you can kind of catch everything. But a lot of stuff was done. I'm gonna read you the list real quick, just in case you're wondering. So I aged the Seymour Duncan Hot rails, neck pickup, bare knuckle, aged the Ragnarok bridge pickup for me. And then I have pure tone, output jack, copper foil tape underneath the pickguard, MG Chemicals, super shield, nickel paint throughout the electronics cavities. I have a Tremol-No bridge locking system in the back, and I'll show you the back in a minute. Floyd Rose 1984 bridge. The OG Floyds are not the same as the 1000s. I don't care what people say. Let's see. I shimmed the Floyd saddles for a 19-inch radius. Again, it's a common misconception. That radius continues on. It's basically like a conical. You have to imagine that. So it doesn't stop at the 16 and go straight to 16 here, which is what a lot of people mess up on. So anyway, like on this guitar, it came out to about 19-inch radius. So that's what I shimmed it for. I did a push and style trim iron, EVH D-Tuna. I did a custom mounted string retainer up on top for the for here. It's like a little rubber strip underneath here that kills the buzz from the strings. And then have the Hipshot locking tuners with knurled barrels. I love that style of tuner. And then as far as FU tone, I got a bunch of stuff. I got gold titanium, a bridge post, 42 millimeter L brass sustain block, a red heavy duty silent springs, brass spring claw screws, titanium string lock set, titanium nut clamping screws, titanium saddle mounting screws, and titanium saddle insert set. And then I did some other things. I re-leveled and recrowned all the frets and polished them. So hopefully you can kind of see that on here. But it plays super smooth now. At some point in time, I will go with the stainless on here, but I didn't want to do that. I was already taking on enough work. And then as far as the body work concerned and the headstock, so I aged the headstock, and then I put some battle scars in there and stuff like that. And that was a lot of work to do. I used basically I used a rub-on poly for the headstock. And then I did a bunch of work to the body, which is kind of subtle, but down here, I sanded this all down so it's worn smooth. It's a nice fade to the paint because it doesn't chip right here and like naturally, like when the arm rests on here and wears to the paint, it kind of fades in there. So I wanted to duplicate that. And then I darkened up the edges throughout here because all of the wood was just one tone. And you just don't see that on actual aged guitars. So I reliced the wood a bit more where you have like sweat and everything else that kind of stains the wood. And I just did a true oil rub on here. So, you know, I have that real flat, natural finish on here. And then on the back side, I'm sorry if I'm going through stuff too quick, guys, but I feel like this video is going to be too long. Here, like I kind of got out some of the belt buckle scratches on here. They looked too fake, so I kind of made them look the way I wanted to. And I added some mahogany stain on here to kind of darken it up a little bit. And again, I went with just a true oil on this finish, just to kind of like flatten it out and I just wanted that just raw wood feel. And in here, when I'm playing, this dives right into my chest. I usually sit with it, with the guitar on my left leg, and this is like right in my chest. So I went ahead and rounded that out, and then I did the same thing as I did here, as far as darkening the wood and some true oil. I'm pretty happy with the way that came out. And then here, throughout here, I did more aging and kind of wearing of the wood, just to kind of, again, to kind of darken things up so it's not just the same color. And then I did like a heel mod that I like to do to these guitars, where I cut 8 degrees off into the heel to allow better access, and kind of see it throughout here. And then I need to kind of do that paint a little bit better because it's too clean right now. So I'll go back here and do that. Probably when I do the stainless steel frets. But let's see, I'm gonna take it down for a second so you can kind of see. But that's what it looks like. And it makes a huge difference as far as playing. And it doesn't compromise as far as the integrity of the neck or body. Everything stays in tune just fine, and I don't have any problems there. And then I shortened the top 2 screws 8 millimeters, so they didn't poke through the board, but that came out really good. And overall, yeah, it was a lot of work. In the cavity, I opened up this cavity a whole lot. Again, I do a whole lot of extreme dives and pullbacks and stuff like that. And this block is so big, it didn't allow me full range of motion. So I got in here and I dremeled all this out, which you can't really see too well, but all back through here is opened up. And then the same thing on the other side too, like I opened that up and then I stained it and all that stuff. Here's the back of the headstock. And then I just lightly sanded this guy. It's super glass smooth right now, and I absolutely love it. But it's got that nice worn look to it and feel to it too. It feels amazing. As far as the headstock, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you guys too much on it, but you can kind of see all the wear and dings that are in it. Hopefully this kind of shows up for you. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way that this guy turned out. Hopefully you guys like it too. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. Hopefully you guys dug this project and inspires you to do your own thing. And that's why I got this guitar, because I wanted something that I didn't feel bad about cutting into and modifying. I wanted a hot rod Strat, but I wanted it done the way I like it. And that's exactly what I did. And this is a badass bitch. It's a fucking brutal fucking guitar. So as always, feel free to like, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications for new videos. And I will now leave you with some pictures of this. Take care.